What's up, E&D family?
What it do? What's going on? What y'all doing on this Sunday evening?
We are here to let y'all know
That we's back.
Back.
Like for real back.
Like back.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all done seen the previous videos and y'all can kind of make the assumption they were back, but you know, some of y'all might be like, look, this is what they did last time. Like they released a couple videos and then they was out of there.
But we're here right now to explain why.
Yeah. Kind of give y'all a little, you know what I'm saying, explanation. Because kind of left y'all hanging a little bit. But we here to kind of explain, you know what I'm saying? Give y'all some reasonings why. But it's a lot. And where to start?
I guess we can start by saying that we had a lot of footage and we were ready and prepared to edit and put it out there for you guys.
Yeah.
But like we said, a lot happened. And the start of it is basically saying that beginning of 2021, we decided that our house was
A little too small.
A little too small for us. Definitely a great starter home, but we really started to outgrow it. So
Yeah.
we made the decision to start looking for homes.
And that was the house that, you know, her and her sister had bought, and I moved in whenever we found out that we were having booty. And it just, you know, it was just small. It was time for us to leave that house because the walls kind of kept feeling like they was coming in on us. And obviously as she grew up, she got more stuff, and you know, we were getting more decor around the house. So it just kind of shrunk. Got to a point to where it was like, yeah, we might need to start entertaining that thought. And that was around the time that we did that.
Yeah, so the beginning of the year, literally in January, we toured a model home in a subdivision that we really liked. And it wasn't the actual floor plan that we were hoping to get. But we toured that floor plan just to see like what it looks like, what would actually come with the house if we liked it.
Yeah, and what all they like kind of had and stuff like that. So
yeah, and we made the decision to put ourselves on the waiting list for that certain plan. And then after that, it was basically like a 50-50 chance. Are we gonna get it? Are we not? We didn't put our eggs all in that one basket. We still were looking at other communities. We were looking at already built homes. We never went to go see any because the market is crazy, or was crazy, and still really is crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. So that kind of got us away from like really going to see them. But like, you know, even after we toured that model home, we kind of spoke to obviously the person that was here in the Sawgrass community that we had, you know, a lot of communication with, and you know, we barely got on the wait list. So It was kind of like, we couldn't put all our eggs in this basket because we were thinking like it was, like you said, a 50-50 chance that we was going to actually get into the home and somebody dropping out. Because when you're on the wait list, you're just waiting for somebody to say, you know what, never mind. Yeah. So that's why we kind of kept looking. And with the market being as crazy as it is and was, we kind of shied away from going to see stuff because it was like when we would see something like that we'd like, you know, we'd be looking at that price and like, yeah, we can't do it.
Or it was gone like that.
Or it was gone, exactly, yeah.
So during that time, we went ahead and continued to work on our house. There was stuff that I wanted to do whenever I first moved in there, like now I guess it was like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
There was stuff that I personally wanted to do to the house, my sister and I. And so we continued to do that. We were already going to go ahead and update the house. And we knew whether we're selling it or we're keeping it. Selling it, it's going to get more value.
That was some work.
Getting
that house right. Like, and kind of throughout this video, like we had a hard drive.
Well, hold on.
Am I going too fast?
Yes.
Okay, well, anyways, we put a lot of work into that house. Let me just say that.
Yeah, while we were kind of like waiting around to see if we were getting the house or not, we were going to go ahead and continue to update our house the way we wanted it to look. And then fast forward to the day before Mother's Day, I get a text message, wake up, and I get a text message saying that, hey, this lot is open. do you want it?
They didn't say, do you want it? They said, come and sign.
I screamed, and Dante was like, what?
Like, just woke up. Just woke up. And she's sitting over there. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm like, what's happening? She showed me the text message. That's literally what it said. It was like, look, we have an opening. It's in Hamilton. It's at this price. When will you guys be able to sign for it? And we were like, because we still, like I said, we put a lot of work into the old house, but we still had a lot of stuff to do. And I don't know if at that point we were like really like on the track of like selling that house.
No, because like we kept going on and off where we would really work on it, like really work on like redoing some of the things in the house, and then we'd fall off. And then we'd redo some things, and then we'd fall off, because it's like, again, we didn't know if we were going to get this house or not. So it was like, we didn't have a time frame on when this house needed to be sold. We didn't have a time frame on when it needed to be ready.
And as you probably know, like when you don't have that time frame, it's kind of hard to stay on track because you really don't have a track. But you kind of trying to do everything when you can, and you know, having a toddler, then she was really like, she was like one-ish, right? She was like one.
She was 1 in a few months. Yeah,
so you know, dealing with that, and obviously, you know, working. I didn't get off until like 7, 8, so it was kind of hard to do that, and we were trying to go into the gym, but kind of peeling off there. But anyways, like we didn't really like solidify the thought of like really selling the house at that point.
But yeah, so basically the day after was Mother's Day, and we went, looked at the lot. That same day, whenever we got the text, we signed those papers.
We did exactly what he said, because we was like, we know.
This is our lot.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, I'm going to put it, mark it as sold. So that day, you know, we got the lot, and the next day was Mother's Day. We came and looked at the lot with our family. Yep. And then it was a process, a long process.
Yeah,
and
this is where the bulk of it comes in.
And if you were building a house at that point in time, or I mean, like, you just know in general, the cost of building, the materials, like everything.
Yeah,
it
all
was
the shortages.
Yeah.
From wood to windows, appliances, like you name it.
Literally
like,
everything.
You name it. It was bad.
So that's where everything started kind of getting crazy too. So once we figured out that we got this lot, we were like, hey,
we gotta sell it.
High gear, getting everything else done in this house. We didn't do everything that we wanted to do or talked about doing, but we did the majority of the stuff. And so we kicked it into high gear. We put our house on the market before it was even completed. Yep. Like, there were still things that we were doing while it was on the market.
And y'all can probably imagine the amount of stress that we were going through, because it was like, once that happened, like, we knew, like, before we even like are able to obviously get that house, like, we've got to have this house sold, you know, have whatever money we're gonna get from the house kind of, you know, in, you know, an account or whatever, so that way whenever it's time to actually start moving funds around, like, we've already had it. And
at that point, we didn't know about all of these shortages really, and so we thought that we were going to be in the house within a few months. So like I said, we put the house on the market on a Monday, and I only did a few showings during that week because we were having an open house on the weekend, and we did put it for sale by owner, but we listed it with this different company that will put it on like Realtor and Zillow and all that kind of stuff. And that was some work too. That was some work. It was fun in my eyes just because I like doing that kind of stuff. But so I was the person at the open house when normally it's like a real estate agent. But was at work. Yeah, he was at work.
Hey, so and there was a lot of times I had to like, hey, I got to come in a little bit later because we got the showing.
We would be driving around with Lela and the dogs, and people would just be walking through the house because, like I said, I didn't really want people there during the week just because I had the dogs and I had Lariella, and he was at work, and it was just so stressful, and I wanted everything to be perfect, to be super clean, like spotless. So it was very hard during the week. So on the weekend, we did the open house. It was me and my mom who were doing it. It went perfectly.
Yeah, I think we got some videos from that too, right? Like from the house from whenever you guys were doing.
Yeah, I've got some after, like the last day, after everybody had already left. And then on Monday, we had all offers in, and we went and we looked over offers, and we accepted an offer.
Yeah.
We technically accepted the offer on that Tuesday.
Yeah, because we had the deadline that, what was it? Was it that Monday?
It was Monday.
Yeah.
We picked out the offer on Monday, but we couldn't call until the next day because it was late by the time we got the offer. So then we accepted an offer, and what was it, like a month or so later?
Yeah, and that was a crazy process too, because like with the closing, the people who are buying the home, their agent had reached out to us and had basically asked for like a buffer. They were like,
is there any way that we can close at a later date?
Yeah, is there any way that we can close a little bit later? So, we were thinking like, you know what, that's cool. We actually need a little bit more time just to kind of, tie up loose ends, figure out where we're going, that kind of thing. So we were like, all right, that's fine. And then, we had that in our head and thinking that it was going to be basically pushed off a month to close. And then we ended up closing at the exact same time that it said on the contract.
Yeah.
So,
but in like our heads that like we didn't know.
Yeah, like basically. we didn't know because we were thinking that since, they had reached out to us and asked to push the closing out, we had a little more time. So it literally got down to the week, like actually a few days before the closing that was on the contract. And they were like, hey, we're looking to close such and such day. This is what we're doing.
No, it was literally Monday.
That's what I'm saying. Like within a couple of days.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, whoa. Like
I was at work. He was at work.
I was about to go to work.
No, you were at work. You were at work.
Oh, yeah, that is
because
right.
I texted you. I'm over here working. Like I said, I work from home right now.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
He was at work, and I get a message talking about closing and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And so I'm like frantic. Okay?
Like she sent me like, I don't even know how many texts, like
calling
like
him, text messages. Yeah.
Like, I was like, what's going on? So I step off the sales floor, and then I'm like, I call her, and she's like, babe, we're literally closing in like 2 days.
We have got to get and like, mind you, like I wanted this move to be so smooth, easy. Name a move that you guys have had that it went perfectly.
Hey, look,
you don't have one.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If y'all watching this and y'all are, looking to sell y'all's house, y'all about to move or something, I'm telling you right now, stress. Ooh, it's stressful.
So I had even during like the week before and the week before that, like 2 weeks prior, I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and start like taking the pictures down and wrapping all the pictures and like things that we didn't need. I was like, all the decor was down. And then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on top of it.
We ahead of the
It's going to be so easy.
Yeah.
No.
And then it was like that bomb got dropped, and it was like, we had those couple of boxes, and I'm like, because whenever I got home, like we literally just sat at the kitchen table for a minute, and we were just looking at each other like, I don't know how we finna do this.
Yeah, because my sister and my mom were in Michigan, and his parents had to work.
Yeah, so there wasn't really like
it was us.
It wasn't you know what I'm saying? Not that didn't nobody want to help. It was just like at that time, like, because the plan was whenever we needed to move out or whenever we got everything situated and had to start that process, we were going to take off obviously, and then kind of reach out to family and see if they could take off a couple of days, or we can do like around a weekend, like whatever that looked like at the time. But we didn't get that luxury. We did not.
Not at all.
And that whole moving process was just so crazy. Like,
I literally messaged my manager. I was like, I gotta go.
Yep.
I won't be here this whole week. I'm moving.
It was so bad. And then, so we ended up moving in with her sister, and she lives here in Spring Hill as well, and she lives in a townhome.
A 2-bedroom townhome.
2-bedroom townhome, and we were bringing all of our stuff.
Not all of it.
Well, not all of it.
We got a storage unit.
We got a storage unit, so we put the majority of stuff in the storage unit, and then like clothes and like
things that we like everyday
utensils
use.
And like whatever food we had in the refrigerator. That's what we took over her house. But then the 2 dogs, obviously L'Ariella, us. So you can kind of imagine how crazy that was. Like, because that's a lot in a 2-bedroom townhome. Like,
it's a lot for us, and it was a lot for my sister. You know, her living by herself with her 3 cats, and then boom, she got back. We were living there before she got back from Michigan, so then she comes back and it's like, hey,
we here.
And we thought that we were only going to be there for what, like a month or 2.
Yeah, so we got there in the beginning of July. And it was like July 2nd. Again,
like we said, we moved things by ourselves. We had one person that my mom actually hired, a moving person, and everybody was like booked out, and all the moving trucks were booked out. And so we found one. We found a moving truck. We were like, get it. We got it. Then this guy came and picked up the majority of our stuff and took it to the storage unit. But everybody knows.
Hey, that's Jay. Shout out to Jay. Really helped us out.
Everybody knows that it's not the big stuff that's hard to move.
It's that little
after
small
everything
stuff,
is out, it's like that random.
You got the bags,
stuff.
shoes, clothes.
Well, that random stuff
pans,
that you're like, what do I do with this?
Stuff that's in the little catch-all, the mail, like cords, cable, like all that stuff. All that little stuff is what's so hard. So, like I said, we got into Anna's house at the beginning of July, and then once we actually got semi-settled, meaning we just got all the clothes and stuff kind of put away.
We got clothes put away. We started getting used to like living with all of us under the same roof.
Yeah. And mind you, this is like
BAM!
Oh God. Oh, but that's an accurate description though. Like legit. Because like I said, I was about to say we were only there for like 2 weeks.
Oh,
and then like they were in the kitchen actually.
No, it was me. So, Anna started feeling around on her floor with her foot, and she was like, does this feel raised? And I was like, I don't know. I can't really tell. I haven't lived here long enough to really notice. And then she was gone. It was only me in the house, and I was just putting stuff away, and that random cabinet in the corner that nobody really ever uses, I was putting something in there. And I just smelled like mildew or something, and I was like, it smells like mildew. And I grab a flashlight, look around the cabinet, and there's water all on her floor.
She had a leak in the kitchen. Now, mind you, like I said, we only been there 2 weeks. Leak in the kitchen.
And her place is brand new. She bought it brand new in 2019. And so from 2019 to July of 2021, there had been a leak.
So now she's got to, contact, all these warranty companies and insurance, and they come in and rip everything up.
Literally the day after.
The day after. Floors ripped up. Cabinets ripped off. Sink ripped out. Dishwasher ripped out. The only thing that was still sitting there was the oven, and then the microwave was still there. And that was it. And the refrigerator was still there.
And they had big fans that were going, trying to dry out the place.
They still got to work.
Yeah, so at that time, Anna and I still had to work. And so we go into a hotel room for a week.
Which was like a nice little getaway, though.
It was a nice little getaway, but my sister was on the first floor. I was on, what were we on?
The third floor.
The third floor. We were on the third floor. Again, 2 dogs, a toddler,
Yeah.
and 2 of us.
Yeah. It was still stressful, but we were in the house, like, what was it, like a couple days whenever all that stuff happened? Mm-hmm. Like, whenever they brought all them fans and all that stuff in, and then we actually got to go into the hotel.
It was obnoxious. It was so loud.
Oh, man, it was bad.
You couldn't watch TV. Like, I was there by myself one day, and I was just so irritated. Because you hear the loud fans, I'm hungry, we can't really cook anything, there's no counters to like prepare anything. I was just so irritated.
Yeah, so we stayed there for, was it like, not even a week.
It was a week.
It was a week, okay. So we stayed there for a week, but then we had to go back because, you know, Anna had got a specific amount of money for that kind of thing, so we had to go back to the house. And mind you, everything's still ripped up. Like, I don't think they had the fans. The fans were gone. But everything was ripped up. And, you know, now we kind of living in half of a house. Just because it was like, with all that being ripped up, like, you kind of got to have to, you know, maneuver around that situation. We weren't trying to cook a lot because then they had put in, like, one of these big, like, utility sinks.
Like, you'd have, like, in a laundry room or a garage or something.
Yeah, like, and then
at one point, like, the dishwasher was like by the island or whatever, and so like, it's weird to say, but we got used to living like that.
Yeah, we did, and we had to live like that for a while because you know, she had to pick out everything that she was wanting to get to replace all that stuff.
And insurance, it just takes forever,
and it takes a long time for insurance. So, you know, fast forward, like, what was it, like a month and a half until she actually got everything like ordered.
Yeah, I think so. But like during that time, we were trying to put, like, we had content and he was editing videos.
Yeah.
And this is where it...
So like what I mentioned earlier, whenever I was talking too fast, like the hard drive that we saved everything on had malfunctioned. Now, I know what some of y'all might say was like, all right, well, you had it backed up somewhere, you know, something like that, right? So let me explain though. So I do have a couple of hard drives, and we have a couple of videos on the other hard drive, but it wasn't like fully backed up. So we had like 225 gigabytes of stuff.
And when I tell you like footage, I'm saying like recent footage, like more recent footage.
I was editing her second birthday party, like vlog video, all that kind of stuff. And like it literally started messing up as I was doing that, and I'm like, what's going on? So I'm unplugging it, replugging it. It's gone. And we sent it off to see if it can get fixed, and data recovery is very expensive. So that
and
is
you have like
something,
a 50-50 chance of like actually...
Yeah, you don't even know if you're going to get everything back. So we were like, well, you know what? We still got the hard drive, and whenever we're able to kind of entertain paying that money to get all that stuff back,
we'll do it, because that is something that, like, we're not just doing videos for people to see, like, this is something that's for us, and especially like her birthday, like that was a big moment, and there is like a lot of really funny and cute moments, of course, of her. And you know, first birthdays are great. You know, you normally go all out for first birthdays, but it's like that second birthday is like, she's understanding. And she just got so excited to see her balloons and her presents, and we took her to a little pumpkin patch, and she got so excited to see her cake.
It was really nice. But after that happened, that's whenever the sun kind of started peeking through. We had a lot of the stuff that was kind of holding us up with this house was starting to, you know, get put in motion. We got a lot of things that was, you know, kind of keeping us away from, you know, our original close date, and that had already changed at that point. We were supposed to be in the house around September, and then it ended up getting pushed back to November.
So the biggest holdup was windows. We went 2.5 months with no windows, and of course, if you don't have windows, you can't do anything on the inside. So they still did work on the outside by putting in like the driveway, the concrete pad on the back. brick around the bottom of the house. It's pretty much like the landscaping.
So they were doing just the small stuff that they could do. But we started to see that, and it was kind of like, okay, like, now we can kind of see things coming together. We are starting to, be able to come into the home, and we're starting to get, the small amount of updates that we were getting, when they would come through, they were, obviously telling us that, everything was going to progress. And we actually got the email that we were closing out of the blue too, because we weren't even expecting to close, because, the weeks go by and you don't hear anything and there's not a lot of stuff being done. So then you think like, okay, well, we're probably going to be right at the new closing date or a little bit after. Like, we were entertaining the thought that we weren't going to be in the house until like December. Yeah. Because we were like, we ain't heard nothing. It's the end of what was it? The end of like
it was coming up to the end of October.
Yeah.
And that's when we had eventually got the email, and my sister's house was actually started to get work on. And crazy thing is, 2 weeks after we moved into her house, the whole water situation happened, and a week, I believe,
before we moved
out
into here, that's whenever
everything was fixed. So the whole time,
from beginning of July to the 1st of November, basically, like it was all chaos.
Yep.
Like it was all chaos.
Yeah. So basically that happened, and then we closed on the 16th of November, and that same day we moved everything in.
Oh yeah, and the good thing about it was like we were coming from a small house, so we didn't have a lot of like big furniture and a lot of stuff.
And we also had it in a storage unit down the street, so it wasn't like moving from a house, getting everything in from room to room. It was like just piling everything into a truck and just moving it here.
And that's another tip that I would say, like if y'all's situation warrants getting like a storage unit, like get one close to the house, to like to the new house.
Yep. Even if it's a drive from your old house, it was 45 minutes for us to like trips back and forth.
Yeah, getting it in there, it was
exhausting.
It was exhausting.
We stayed up.
There was one day that I didn't get in the bed until like 4 a.m. because just cleaning and grabbing stuff and bringing it to the house in the storage unit. But at the end of the process, like once we got in here, it was like, 2 minutes, back and forth, it felt like, to the storage unit, to the new house. And that's why we were able to move everything in that day.
And so obviously we move in November 16th. The next week is Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving comes Christmas.
Time.
We,
and then right now, it's the end of January, basically.
So, and we never really, we still have a whole garage that we're going to have to clean out come spring. A lot of it, most of the stuff that if we didn't need it, it was just put in the garage, and we just brought our furniture in and things that we actually needed. And so we'll have to go out into the garage, go through those boxes, go get all that situated. So we're still not like
100% moved in, because we can't pull into our garage.
And then we also have like furniture coming too, which you saw if you saw the previous video. If you haven't, go see it.
Yeah, go check them out.
We did get some furniture in, so.
And that's kind of from this point moving forward, we're gonna have a lot of content, but like in the immediate future, it's gonna be more of like that kind of stuff, like home improvements, getting decor, that kind of thing. Vlog style type of stuff. Like she said, if you saw the previous videos that we posted, it's gonna be that kind of feel. So yeah, there you have it.
That's why
we've been gone for
it doesn't even sound that crazy like as we're talking about it, but like living in the moment of 2021, it was insane. And of course with the pandemic still happening and all these, it's just a lot. So
whole lot. But yeah, but like we back for real.
We're back.
I'm telling you, we back for real.
So what does that mean? Subscribe,
comment,
like,
share, send this
Hit the
your
bell
aunties,
button.
to your uncles, grannies, granddaddies, mama, daddy.
Hit the
homies.
bell button to get
Hit the bell
notifications
button,
anytime
all
we
that
post a
kinda
video. We'll also leave our info, like our social media, down below if you want to
Yeah.
follow us on Instagram or
And just know
whatever.
that this is the last time we post a We Back video.
Yep.
Like, it ain't happening no more. And y'all can hold us to that. You know what I'm saying? So, there you have it.
Unless we're saying we're back from a trip to Italy or
Oh,
something.
wait. See, you can get down with that now. Y'all gonna see that. Holla.